Oh yes, baby. How are we doing, everyone?
What an intro.
How
What an intro.
I am stoked. I am stoked not only because it is us four, but because we had to change up the intro because as I was telling Anthony before we went live, uh, this is like this we got like the JV team out right now. Like no, this
Okay. All right. All right. Let's,
we they sent the B team out for this live, but I think this is a chance for us to prove ourselves right now, fellas. I am stoked right now.
dude, why is my forehead so shiny? Ew. All right, we're better.
Is it because it's sweaty? It's sweaty, but
Mm.
we are
Can you
gonna.
get
We don't have anyone. Yeah. We. Oh, Anthony, you got the boom mic.
no, I've had the snowball.
You've had the
Just it
snowball.
was
Like I
yeah,
said,
it was unplugged.
I've never run this before, guys. So this is gonna be. I'm excited. First of all, happy Fourth.
Mhm.
I was able
Well,
to see it. Not happy
now,
Fourth for you, Keaton.
well, it's now National 7-Eleven Day. Unless you were saying like happy,
Like from
it's
the
National
past week,
Slurpee Day.
It
we're
is. It
talking
is
about
National Surfing Day. I did
yes.
not go. I did not get a Slurpee. If anyone did, I don't know how the
We
lines
don't
are where you guys are. It's
we
probably
don't have them in Boise.
I
ah,
I didn't go to a 7-Eleven.
you didn't get a Stinkers slushy or whatever godforsaken corn syrups they put in those things.
We're just dude, it's actually just a 50-50 concoction of red 40 and high fructose corn syrup. There's nothing else in there.
Dude, I don't. It is interesting, but we didn't have a live last week. How
Mhm.
was everyone's fourth? I was luckily I was able to see Anthony down in Southern California on the Friday, so that was really fun. Spent some time in Huntington Beach, Orange County, California. Zooch, you'll have to make it out sometime. But yeah,
Dude, you got to make it down. You got to make it down here. It's a treat.
it was
It's something.
It was high 70s, Zooch, with a little bit of cool wind. It was
The perfect
it was so
California
nice.
day.
It was perfect California day, with perfect California traffic because that's how it always is on the 4th of July weekend in Orange County. But Keaton, Anthony, and Zooch, how are you guys' fourths?
Why don't you take it over, Zooch?
Mine was pretty good. It was, what is it today? It's like 108 today. Here
Yeah,
in Boise.
106, 107.
Hot as hell. But it was only like 80 something, I think, on the 4th. So took my little brother to the water park for a little while and then went over to my parents. My dad had a smoked brisket going, shot off some fireworks, saw someone light their house on fire with fireworks.
Where?
Cool.
Meridian?
No, in Boise, like you heard, and it's not funny because their house lit on fire, but you just see all the fire trucks pulling around, and just behind the fire truck, you just see fireworks going off all over the place.
That
Oh,
that is not good, but it's something. It's something. It was my one question to you is, was the brisket better than Lincoln Riley's brisket?
I think a brisket that you get at Walmart that's like prepackaged and in like cold, that little cold food section with like all the barbecue is better than Lincoln Riley's brisket.
That's fair. That's fair. Keaton, how was your fourth?
It was good. Well, kind of. Started out absolute nothing burger of a day. Then Sage and I decided, hey, let's go floating. Bad idea because everybody and their moms was like, hey, let's go floating too. So we get to the river. My raft had popped somehow. So we were going to rent, me and my roommates. The line for the tubes to rent was probably like 200 people deep. We couldn't find anywhere to park. There was 4 cops writing tickets. So we just scratched the idea and said, fuck it. Sage and I went to Home Depot on Freedom Friday or on Freedom Thursday and bought window vinyl to help keep the heat out for this upcoming heat season. So I would say realistically, I spent it at the most Republican American place ever, and that's Home Depot, which is good.
That
Not
is true.
leftist
Yeah.
Lowe's.
Yeah. Let's say better than those cowards at Lowe's that
Oh,
are yeah
There's a reason
that,
Lowe's is the color blue. Okay,
that
it's
that are harboring criminals and
yeah,
communists in
yeah,
Lowe's.
yeah.
Yes.
That is
When I
funny.
go to Home Depot, I want to see people blackout drunk, smelling like cigarettes, and that's what I got.
That's
So
essentially a Home Depot. And then Anthony,
Yeah.
yeah,
how was your fourth?
Fourth was good, man. Went to San Clemente, so just a little bit, like 30 minutes away from Costa Mesa. Zach and I went down there. We hung out with a lot of people. It's a good time. We basically spent a majority of the day on the beach, playing games, hanging out.
did you go in the water?
Yes, we did.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. But it's not a beach day without your foot getting burnt, or any part of your body getting burnt. For example, like I said, my foot got burnt, and that sucked. For like 2 days, 3 days, it sucked. But other than that, though, it was a good time. And then we all went out to the bars later that night. Well, before that, actually, we watched fireworks from the house that we were at. And that was really cool because they were setting off fireworks like on the beach. So that was cool. And then went out that night to the bars, and that was about it.
That's
That was
awesome.
it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that we all got that out of the way. We can actually talk some sport. I know Zuch wants to talk some NCAA football, some big news.
Me too.
And well, I know Keaton. It's not even NCAA football news. Mike Gundy said it was okay to drive drunk this week.
He said it has happened hundreds of times.
I
He
mean,
said- someone broke down the math. I watched this. He said he probably has done it thousands of times. So thousands means it's like 2,000. Mike Gundy's in his 50s. If he had started drinking beer when he was 18 years old, it was something like he has driven over the legal limit 32 times a year since he's been 18. Or like 30
Okay,
times
so
a year
what-
since he's been 18.
what? I guess what classifies drunk? Like, if you're slightly buzzed, should you
You sound
drive
like
drunk?
Ray from Trailer Park Boys.
Well, I'm trying to get like, are we talking blackout drunk? Are we talking,
I don't know. We were
Where-
talking. It was funny because the background of this story is Ollie
Yeah.
Gordon, star Oklahoma State running back, got a DUI. And Zuch, correct me if I'm wrong. He got one of the DUIs where he was he below 0.08, but he was still like a 0.6. But because he was 20, it's a DUI. Can you correct me
think
if I'm
so, yeah.
wrong? So that was the reason. And then, so Coach Gundy got asked about it at Big 12 Media Day, which was this week. And essentially what he said was, oh, I looked up how many beers it takes you to get to 0.06 and the body weight and stuff. And I did ollies. That's about, 2, 3, 4 beers. And I thought to myself, hell, I've done that about 1,000 times.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad.
He clarified in a tweet later that he was just talking about making mistakes, not actually drunk driving.
Although the cherry on the top, I think, was the double down when someone asked him, hey, this guy on your team got a DUI. What's going to be the punishment for him? And he goes,
Oh, I did see this.
no, give him the ball 50 times in the first game.
These
Mike
guys are
Gundy-
employees. They need
Mike
to show
Gundy-
up every day.
It's
Face
the
the
gift
music.
that keeps on giving. We had I'm a Man, I'm 40. We had the One American News
Yes.
incident on the boat. And now we have the I've driven drunk thousands of times. And
No,
I'm going to punish my running back by giving possibly the best running back in the league a million
Him-
carries in the first game.
Him telling him
That's-
that his running back just has to face the music is funny because it's just like that doesn't. You're just starting him. You're just saying, don't worry about it. You make enough money that you can fight this. You're fine. It's a trip. I did see that, and I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty shocked that was said.
It's funny if you know Mike Gundy. It doesn't come as a shock to you, but I saw an Oklahoma State fan on Twitter, and maybe they were trying to be like, oh, I don't know, like maybe they're trying to like big brain this whole Mike Gundy thing, but he was like, Mike Gundy did that on purpose to take away the pressure and the attention from Ollie Gordon, which if that's the case, big brain move. Because now you just have everyone in the sports world talking about how Mike Gundy said it was okay to get a Dewey, which is honestly, like that would be the top quote from a college coach. But like I said, he's the I'm a man, I'm 40. Although I did see a tweet It said, "I'm a man. My BAC is .40."
That was the best one of them all.
It
Hold
really
on.
was. It really was. And the Big 12 Media Day as a whole, and I don't know if you guys are like follow like media days, like Keaton, you've been to somewhat like the baseball media days, like that's like the A's Fan Fest kind of days.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
just kind of everyone's having a good time, and it's always just like a shit show, and you get some good quotes, and there's always something weird that happens because it's the same thing that happened like, oh my gosh, it always happens. Like this, you see the Super Bowl media is probably the media day is probably like the biggest one that people see.
Mhm.
What did you see at the Big 12 Media Days today? A reporter told the Texas Tech mascot that Pistol Pete said he was the best cowboy in the Big 12.
Yeah,
And the Texas
pulled the
Tech
gun on him.
mascot pulled the gun on him.
Yep, I did see that. It was a fake gun, but he pulled. Yeah, the Arizona State reporter was like, "Hey, you know, you're the second best mascot, and the running Reb is that what he is? The red like it's some Reb." But he like he was like this, and he pulled the gun out on the reporter. This classic. But yeah, no, it's been good. Keaton, we got MLB All-Star Weekend this week. I know once Gally hops on, I want to ask him about his time at the NHL draft and his experience there. But Keaton, as our resident baseball correspondent, what do we? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know anything about All-Star Weekend coming up, other than Pete Alonso is going to take the home run derby way too serious.
I don't think so personally, but we'll see.
I think he's gonna. Is he not in it? I feel like that's his Super Bowl. Like that's like
Well,
Pete
I mean,
Alonso
that's
just
literally
like
all he's known for because the guy can't hit a fucking curveball if his life depended on it right now. But yeah, I mean, he'll play well. He's gonna make it to the finals. And I, you know, truth be told, this has been like the first year that I haven't watched a ton of baseball. And I think, you know, it has to really do with soccer being as prevalent as it has been.
we'll
and the
talk about that
Olympics-
later. We will talk about
the
that after this
Olympics
baseball segment.
being less than 2 weeks away. You know, been watching a lot of track and field, Noah Lyles. I just haven't had a lot of time to watch baseball. But that being said, the Phillies, I mean, that's all you got to say. The Phillies are the best team in baseball. They just swept the Dodgers. Looks like it's them or the highway. So
there you go. But Keaton, you just actually reminded me of my main topic. I was hoping to wait when you pointed out the soccer. I was hoping to wait till everyone was in here to talk about it. Tyler and Gally, who are hopefully hopping on soon. But we're going to talk about it now. Big soccer. Anthony and Zuch, you guys watching the soccer too?
I'll watch like the World Cup and stuff like that, but not really
fair.
now.
That's
fair.
on the
That's
same
fair.
thing as Zuch.
But bad man is gone. Bad man
I
is gone.
have seen him being compared to Osama bin Laden, so
I have.
Yes. Let's just say
Domestic
say-
terrorist.
all I know is that I knew. I don't follow some of these U.S. soccer fans, like it's their pro team, and I follow it casually for the big tournaments. And I saw him announce that he was fired. Immediately, someone just quote tweeted with the picture of American GIs in World War II reading the newspaper. Hitler is dead.
I got a lot of the John Cena announcing that Osama bin Laden has been
Yes.
compromised. We have compromised to a full end Osama bin Laden.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny. I mean, he wasn't. I think a lot about, and I'm not a soccer expert in any means, but international play with club play, it's kind of like almost like USA basketball. With running a country, you don't get to choose your talent. Your talent's who's born in your country or plays for your country. So you have to design a system for those players. It's not the other way around. And I think, am I fair by saying like that was Berhalter's problem? Was that like he was running the system just like couldn't connect with any of the players?
I don't necessarily know if it was that. I think there's just a lot of times where you watch, like I'm not a guy who will sit down and just watch a ton of soccer. Like I physically cannot. I'm not going to watch the MLS. I'll watch Saturday morning Premier League games, but I think importantly, what we saw was just the inability for Berhalter to make substitutions at the right time in the right moments. And I think that's what rubbed people the wrong way very often. Truth be told, if Timothy Weah does not get that red card,
Patriot.
He is, man. If he doesn't quote unquote punch that player, I think Berhalter's still our coach because I think we make it out of the group stage. But in that same game, there was several critical moments where Berhalter is leaving important players in who were clearly injured instead of just subbing them out for a younger, healthier player to at least add a little bit of energy onto the defensive side. And we were playing with our tail between our legs that whole game, and it was only a matter of time. Like, we didn't play up, we didn't run good, splits and play aggressive, at least try and get some opportunities to space the ball a little bit. And it also just feels like it wasn't working before. They fired him after the Gio Reyna stuff. They bring him back because they, felt sorry for him. And then it's like, okay, what do we do after that? And truth be told, we got worse. Right now, FIFA has us ranked as the 11th best team in world rankings. It, for some reason, has us above Colombia, Uruguay. I would even argue Mexico. But I truly don't think that with Greg Berhalter, we're the 11th best team in the world. I think we cracked the top 20s.
That makes sense. Talking Berhalter right now, it's so interesting to see. I did see that Gio Reyna liked the post like 10 minutes after it was announced, and I also saw a tweet where Claudio Reyna needs to go full circle soccer dad, and after getting the coach fired, needs to become the coach himself, as in true American youth soccer fashion.
That would be awesome. Just become coach's dad.
Yes,
exactly. Here's my. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say play daddy ball or something like that, like true like U13 team.
Yeah. Well, look, here's my frustration. I think, I think the United States is fans are so used to being dominant in everything that they think, hey, if we exacerbate millions and millions and millions of dollars to develop these talents and make sure that they're the best players that they can be, maybe we can win, something. And I think that plays a part, but this is technically the golden era, right? Like, you're looking Christian Pulisic, Tim Weah, all these guys, Matt Turner, are all like 26 or younger. So they're going to be good, in the next 4 years for the next Copa. But I think it starts at the top. And one of the frustrating things that I saw, and this is really what fucking pissed me off, was Matt Crocker. He is, hold on, and I just don't want to butcher his title because it's not like this guy isn't a higher up. He's the technical director of the United States Soccer Federation. Also, who sent that? Yeah, England is always going to make the Euro. I mean, England's good.
England is good.
Matt Crocker decided to skip the U.S.'s game against Uruguay and go watch a Euro game in Germany.
Isn't it pronounced Uruguay?
Doesn't matter. I'm not fucking Hispanic.
All-time middle school joke. All-time middle school joke.
No, but I mean, he literally didn't even watch his own organization's team.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yes, he skipped.
Do you think that's because like not enough like people in America, they care about the big tournaments, right? I feel like most sports fans like have a general understanding of what's going on in like Copa America, but they don't really know what's happening behind the scenes like they do their other sports, and that's kind of why, in your opinion, it's kind of gotten lackadaisical maybe on the back end.
I think there's just this feeling of like, hey, we're good enough to win, and there isn't a motivation to improve.
I think the U.S. men's national team needs Brian Dable.
I think they need something.
I was thinking Dan. I saw a tweet to have Dan Campbell and just full circle Ted Lasso. Might as well, right? I mean, you get Dan Campbell. You essentially just hire like the best assistants we can that'll do the actual game plan, and just let like Dan. Actually, who's a realistic coach? I want everyone to think about this now that we're on this topic.
Jurgen,
and in the comment, and in the
Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen Klinsmann. Jurgen Klopp, I heard turn it down. But a realistic coach, if
Wasn't he
you
already
were
the
to
coach?
What?
Wasn't
no, that
guy
was
already-
Jurgen. That was Jurgen Klinsmann
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
that was Jurgen Klinsmann used to be the skipper or whatever you want to say for
Wasn't he supposed to
Seattle
be the
Sounders.
shit because he was from Germany?
Yeah, he's like the top
Jurgen-
goal scorer in German history, like as a player, or like one of them.
Failed us.
So I was watching
Yeah.
part of my take, and they recommended this coach, and I want to pull up his name.
Okay.
Coach Zhao Kim Lo, and he was the Germany coach, and he like eats his boogers and like picks his butt and sniffs his fingers on the sideline, and that's who I think
Let's
we
go.
should get. PFG commenter brought it up, and that's the guy that I want. I want the German coach who eats his boogers and like smells his fart fingers to be the coach.
Yeah, maybe we can get Landon Donovan to do it.
I think
Alexis
Landon-
Lawless.
I actually think
Landon Donovan, no, because he would only just take guys from the MLS. He has a rock hard on for the MLS.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe take Dempsey then. Just think
I
of the
would-
guys who've been there, right? Like, and know what it looks like to. I mean, both those guys had some level of success for the U.S. men's
Yeah.
national team.
I think
That's
I
true.
think Roberto, where it becomes difficult with giving these guys like a shot is it's not like we have options here to and time to waste. You know, it's not like it's the MLB where you can, you know, test the guy out and it's like, all right, well, he's going to be our assistant coach and we'll try something else. You only get so many opportunities as a national team to perform before you hit a major tournament. And realistically, we need to have a coach that can win with this team within the next 2 years, because within the next 2 years, Team USA is back in the United States playing the World Cup. And I'm not going to lie, I don't like our chances with Greg Berhalter. I think they're better with someone else. I mean, honestly, dude, I'd take Brittany Griner at this point. Give me something. A manager at McDonald's could probably outcoach Greg Berhalter with 5 minutes of coaching. I think he's just that inept.
Hey, and as a
what he does.
reminder, everyone get on FIFA's wait list. Keaton reminded
Yes,
me, get on the FIFA
yes.
wait list for tickets, everyone.
If you
It'll
do
fill
want
up
to go,
soon.
there's like 18 U.S. cities they're going to play in, and if you want to go,
If you do want
need
to
to get on
go and
FIFA's
not have
list.
to pay like StubHub $1,000
How
resale
big
ticket
is this damn
prices.
tournament? It's in 18 cities.
Yeah,
this is going
and
to be
it-
the largest World Cup tournament in history. It's going
Did
from
they add more
24 to
teams? Okay.
24 to
Yeah.
48.
Okay, so are we already
And
in
it's
it?
Canada,
Like, we already
it's
clinched.
Yeah, we're qualified. It's Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. are all going to host games, but we get like
qualified
18
because
cities.
we made the knockout rounds last time, right? Is that why
yeah.
we qualified?
No, it's because we're the host too.
Well, yeah, the host automatically. It was like Qatar or Saudi Arabia getting it last year, or Qatar,
Yeah, Qatar.
whoever it was. Yeah,
And they got
Qatar.
their asses whooped. They
Yeah,
slapped.
I'm gonna pull up the list. I'm pulling up the list right now for you guys. It's interesting. It's the first one. I think it's going to be in multiple different countries, which is like kind of weird, but
Yeah,
it's exciting.
Will there be like playing in Mexico as well?
yeah. So they're playing
Yeah,
in
like can
Mexico
you guys see the
City.
cities? Yeah,
Here we go.
Oh, it's like they're just doing it in North America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
18 total cities, I should say. But yeah, dude,
And
Kansas City. I might have to rock back to Kansas City and go watch a game there.
It should be
Guadalajara.
smart. I think the funniest thing for me is going to be watching Europeans try to like navigate a city like Dallas, Texas, because it's going to be like played in Arlington, or honestly, like even like the Bay Area. It's going to be
Yeah.
Stop sharing. real
San
quick.
Francisco
Even
Bay
the
Area and Santa Clara.
I can't wait for some
Yeah,
of those
that-
crumpet eaters to try some barbecue sauce and they'll go, whoa.
Yeah, like even San Francisco Bay Area, that stadium that they're playing in is in Santa Clara in the middle of a Silicon Valley business park.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
I think that's funny on there that they don't put Santa Clara, they put San Francisco Bay Area as the.
yeah, because people are gonna be
Oh.
like, "Who the? Yeah, what the
did
fuck
you
is
see
Santa
they also
Clara?"
they also put New York, New Jersey because they're playing at the Meadowlands, the Giants and Jets stadium.
Oh,
Which is like a-
no.
Yeah.
Yes, there it is, Roberto. There it is.
Dude,
yes.
Roberto,
Put Gi-
have you seen the Europeans bitching about MetLife Stadium? I want to pull this up. I want to pull this tweet up, and Diego,
Because
you
it
can
looks
talk
like a
about it.
giant air
I
conditioner.
think it'd be
No.
hilarious, like
No, hold
coolest
on.
thing ever, if at one point the U.S. played England in New York, like just to see what, like that would be the most.
No,
There'd probably be.
I
multiple
want-
people
No, I want like Keaton said, I want the English to have to play in a city like Kansas City. Just like what are we like
What is
like
going on
Arlington,
here?
Texas. Arlington,
most
Texas,
spread
where
out
the
area.
Cowboys play, is the largest city in the country without a public transit system. The U.S. knew what they were doing putting the championship game there. They knew what they were doing.
We're just gonna see like Germany just marching from the airport to the Cherry World.
They play in Boston. Let's get U.S. in Boston. There'd actually be massacres.
Here's the tweet. Sorry, here's the tweet. It just reads, "This pitch is an absolute disgrace, and it's been the case for most of this tournament. I genuinely hope the USA will never get to host a Copa America again, and it's a shame they host a bloody World Cup. Keep this sport away from that country." And what they were talking about was MetLife Stadium being so fucking dangerous because it's basically just an ACL torn. Like all you do is tear your ACL. On that pitch.
Because I heard it's what they're doing in Seattle. They're not like reinstalling grass. They're just gonna lay a layer of grass on top of the turf, and it's just like a temporary. So that thing's gonna be like quicksand if it rains or something, or it's just slop. It's gonna be a slop
It's
field.
not gonna move.
I'm excited for.
Time to introduce these yippies to the turf monster. Let them get a taste.
My god!
I think if I was an American,
Europeans hate MetLife.
I really want if I was from another country, I'm actually really excited for this World Cup because obviously me being on the West Coast, it gives me 2 very good, 3 if I choose to go up to Seattle, chances to see a World Cup game, which is going to be that's going to be funny. And the one thing I do know about the MetLife commute, Roberto, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is there's like 1 train in and like 1 train out, and like it just becomes like salmon swimming upstream.
Don't let the Polish go there.
I cannot wait till they get there and come across the Ubers who are not Ubers that are just have a fake Uber sign and charge you like 95. I swear to God, after the Jets Giants game, we just got in a random car and the guy was like, "For $90, I'll take you wherever you want."
Yeah, I had that in Kansas City. I landed at like 1 a.m. trying to get to the hotel, and the guy was like, "Yeah, $70. I'll drive."
I just cannot. And like, opinions aside on this, right? I just want, I feel like they're gonna freak out. Just that it's so interesting. Like when you go to different countries and like things that are so standard there are like completely foreign, completely from like another universe to like people from other countries. Like, what's the first time that like when they see like Raising Cane's, like what are they gonna do?
Eat.
Like when they.
Yeah.
Yes.
They might start a rebellion once they go into a restaurant and ask for tea, and they get in Texas and they get like a 5-gallon drum of sweet tea.
Sweet tea. I thought about that. No, but I'm excited for this World Cup. I was thinking, it posed the question. It's been on Twitter that if you could have a college football stadium as a World Cup venue, which one would you choose?
App State.
App State. Big enough?
Cool.
Come on, guys.
I don't know if it's.
You know it.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Piss again.
No. You see, I would
Michigan.
do it for a couple of reasons. I would send people to College Station, Texas, and force them to check that out. I would love to force the people of like Cameroon to play like South Korea in College Station, Texas. At Kyle
the
Field.
Yell leaders on the field.
Yes. Actually, I think the Americans, we should bring in, I think we should bring in the Yell leaders. I think, honestly, we should just bring in every college football. Thank you, Roberto. Kyle Field is what I would have chose as well. I think we need to bring like every college football tradition, and like that needs to be our like footballing tradition. Like we should be playing like neck in the stands and be like, suck that US dick, bitch. Like after we like beat up on some like poor third world country who has like half the resources, and we beat them like 1-0.
We beat on Senegal.
We beat them 1-0. We beat on like Haiti and like it's like a 1-0 game because we got like a PK in the 32nd minute.
Okay, another good one though could be Tiger Stadium.
Tiger Stadium could be a good one.
Force
them to go to Yeah. What would they do in Baton Rouge?
What would they do if you sent them to Starkville, Mississippi?
What would I do if I got sent to Starkville? It's like Starkville.
Send them to Tennessee.
I think
make them work in the Rocky Top.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Europeans are gonna be in for a treat when they go to Seattle, because Seattle's such a progressive city, and there is
Oh,
so much pride.
I think a
and
city like
Europeans
Seattle,
could be a disaster
Boston.
class.
I think it's
We
going to
should
be
send
a disaster class, but also those cities are going to be like feel the most at home, like the walkable, like
yeah.
the Boston's, Phillies, Seattle's. What's another?
That's my goal is to
That's
go
pretty
to
much it, Toronto.
go to Seattle for a
Send
soccer
them
game.
all to
But
Oakland Coliseum and tell them, hey, when you're leaving, make sure you don't go left, hang a right.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, yeah, take Bart.
yeah.
walk the Coliseum. What is that? The little corridor. Anyway,
Coliseum corridor. Yeah, get yourself a bacon wrap hot
Oh, that's a
dog.
good point. We just got to put him somewhere hot as hell. Like, what if like just put him in, like the hottest place possible? Like, put him in Arizona for a game.
Arizona Sun Devil Stadium. Put them in Tucson or something like that. Looks like
Middle of summer,
Wildcat
it's
said,
like
yeah.
It'd be the hottest those Brits have ever felt.
no. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the World Cup. I'm also excited for the Olympics
True.
in Los Angeles. It's kind of my segue into the Olympics. I know Keaton, you wanted to touch on like the Paris Olympics a little bit.
what's up with the Los Angeles Olympics?
Oh, nothing. It's just going to be better than the Paris because apparently the city of Paris has done like no infrastructure like whatsoever, and they're just like rolling the dice with what they got. Like they're like, have you made any improvements to the metro? And they're like, no, we just think our metro is going to be. Yeah, they're going to be like, yeah, no, we just think our metro is going to be good enough. And it's like you're adding like you're going to double your city for like a month.
Have you heard of? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Zuch.
Yeah,
I was going to say I was just there, and the only thing I saw for it. The only thing, what I think it is going to be is the volleyball court. I guess we won't really know until like competitions kick off or whatever you want to call it. That's the only thing I saw, and I was like right under the Eiffel Tower. But they had really cleaned up the city, and I don't know. I think their metro might be okay. Like it's so big that I think a lot of people don't realize how massive like Paris is. Like
they can always take
Paris is
catacombs too. Walk through there,
and like catacombs, yeah. Walk people through the catacombs.
Put the Paralympic Games in the catacombs.
You guys got to memorize.
Okay.
You're going to go down into the catacombs. You're going to hang 3 lefts, 4 rights. If you take an extra left, you're fucked.
I heard
Okay.
that's when Jason Tatum is going to talk to Kobe before the game as a cat.
Okay.
He needs to
I got you.
Jaylen Brown snubbed. Maybe because people think he's a little bit of like an arrogant guy. Maybe
I don't know. He's a smart.
Some people are saying. Some people are saying. Cal represent is
All
right.
I know is Kawhi is a huge bitch.
Kawhi showed up to take a photo and left.
You know, he just wanted the free gear. He wanted that free jersey in the free kicks.
Real quick, you were talking about how the city's big and all that, but Zuch, I think importantly, the fucking river is so bad right now. Their river system is basically, they said has high levels of E. coli bacteria, and they're set to host like triathlon events in that water, and they don't have time to clean it up anymore.
The mayor came out and was like, "Oh, you know what? We're so confident in this water, we're gonna swim in it." And they were like, "Ooh,
people
never mind."
made countdowns of like, okay, they're actually going to swim in it. And so when it actually came time, they were like, yeah, it's too dirty for us to swim in. But they're going to host all their rowing, all their crew events, everything is going to be in that water. So,
Yeah, just posted from literally like not even a day ago. It says, let me read you the title. River sign still not safe for swimming on most days due to E. coli bacteria levels, with Olympics set to start July 26th. That's in 2 weeks.
I don't know why. Like the Olympics are the weirdest thing. If you think like how many pictures are there of like Sochi, Rio, wherever else it's been, that they just build all this stuff too, and it just gets left.
Wasn't it?
That's
Yeah,
I know that was one of the big draws from one of the big draws for Los Angeles is that they already have a bunch of infrastructure just from like the sporting that's already in Southern California, as well as living situations at 2 major universities they can use for athlete housing. Like they don't need to build anything new for Los Angeles, and that was like the big draw. I know
the Olympics are in LA in 2028.
Yes.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
That's
US is going to be living it up
Oh,
the
I'm
last
there.
couple of parts of
I'm there, baby. I'm so there.
everyone's talking about, oh, the United States is a dying empire. Well, baby, it's going to die after 2030 because we going to
Yeah.
experience the World Cup and the Olympics before that happens, baby.
There, I'm looking at the pictures right now. There's like most of these are from Rio, but like literally just abandoned places.
It's wild. It
Yeah.
looks like a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
after they-
Berlin.
I know
completely destroyed.
Brazil had it bad because they had the World Cup Olympics back-to-back years, so they have like doubly abandoned stuff, like stadiums and Olympic type things. But one of my favorite things about the Olympics is just to get like really invested into a random sport. If any of you guys in the comments got like a random
Dude,
sport,
and
Ray
it's-
J can be there
It's
too.
better. I am of the mindset it is better when it is somewhere that it comes on really late at night here than when like you would get it like. So Paris, I think they're. I feel
it'll be
like we're
real
like
early
9
here.
don't-
It'll be
I
real
don't-
early here.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
want
it's
that.
better when it's at like you get home from work or like going out or whatever. It's like 2 a.m. and like rowing or
That's probably what made
Pickleball is
Beijing so,
on.
like Beijing so good. But it was weird. I always like one of my favorite, most obscure events, and for some reason when I was a kid, it just stuck with me forever. In London, I think it's like the competitive dual kayaking where they build the man-made rivers, and like they have to go through like those stupid like bars, and it's, it's like it's almost just like they're going down like a water slide. And I thought it was the
What?
coolest thing ever. That
Yeah.
and then wrestling, of course. I like getting into the Olympic wrestling.
Yeah, I think badminton is probably one of my favorite ones. Badminton gets crazy intense. What's the one where they do like the shooting? Not like actual shooting, but they're like it's like a decathlon, but they also have to shoot at the
That
end
one's
with
good.
rifles. That's a great one.
The United States
Um,
school system.
Dude, we
Handball's-
could put some athletes in there. Some high schoolers
handball's a
in
good
there.
one. Handball
Handball's-
is a great one.
Handball's a one where the U.S. gives the rest of the world, and maybe that is American my blindness, but you can't tell me is if I got a team with Shohei Ohtani and Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and LeBron James and Steph Curry
Isn't there
and-
supposed to be flag football this year in the Olympics?
in the Los Angeles one. There's
Okay,
flag
yeah.
football.
Are we going to get some like, actual players in that, or are we just going to fuck around? Because we just had a USA team get blown out by Japan.
Okay, I want to clear that up. USA Football, that organization, I think, kind of like one of those weird like recruiting
They threw out
scams
D3
where like
players.
you
they're
pay
so
to get
funny.
on, and
they're like-
someone looked into that team, and there was one kid who had a Division I offer. Everyone else was going to an NAIA or Division II or III.
And I looked at their website, and it was just like, yeah, this is our USA team. You guys, it's so awesome. We're not going to really tell you what players we have, but a long time ago we had Jonathan Taylor. It was really cool
Yeah.
back then.
That's funny. No, I think the host cities could get the go for it, Keaton.
Oh no, you're good. Sorry,
Wait,
I was
do you
reading
know
something.
who the head coach of the? If this is correct, does anyone know who the head coach of the USA Football is right now?
No.
Don't tell me it's going to be someone
No.
funny.
It's hilarious.
Who is it?
Frank Reich or
Who?
something.
Dan Hawkins.
Dan Hawkins,
That's what it
Who's that?
says on.
yeah,
Yeah.
guys, who's Dan Hawkins?
old Boise State coach from like the 2000s.
Awesome.
Have you ever
Jesus.
heard that?
No.
Have you ever heard that like soundbite where he goes like, "I got parents telling me, well, my kid doesn't have enough time off in the summer. Well, I have to tell you this: it's Division I football. It's the Big 12." And then and he's like, "You want summer off? Go play intramurals, brother. Go play intramurals." That's so funny, Dan Hawkins. No wonder we lost.
Equestrian.
Do you have
Equestrian
those,
should not be there.
do you have those little things put together for us? The
Yes, I do. I got
you guys want
4
to
of
go through
them.
those now? You want to finish up? Are we done with the Olympic talk, or are we good?
I think we are. I say we let it ride. I was gonna wait for Gally to get on, but looks like he didn't hop on to talk about the NHL draft. So if you're hoping to hear Gally's and Sean's excursions from that, go listen to Good Old Hockey Podcast. Don't know why my mind blanked there for a little bit, but yeah, Zuch has got a little trivia to carry us out the rest of the show.
All right,
Oh,
so
boy.
I have 4 athletes here, and I'm going to give you some statistics about their life. It's not going to be, first pick in the
tell-
2024 draft, or they won the Super Bowl and as a quarterback in 2005, whatever it is. These are going to be maybe not the best decisions they made. I'm going to sprinkle in a couple quotes from these guys. And there will be a couple stats here and there, but it shouldn't give them away. So are you guys ready
Yeah.
for the
Is it
first?
what sports are is it college sports? Is it
These guys all played professionally.
okay?
Okay.
And if you're in the comments and you got a guess, let it rip in the comment section, baby.
All right, here we go. I'm going to tell you where they're born. I have all of my information pulled up. I spent a couple hours doing this. So this guy is from Oceanside, California.
Okay.
And right now he's 34 years old. He won the Biletnikoff twice. 2-time Biletnikoff winner. Do you know who it is already?
Okay, so the
Well,
rule is
Roll out. Let it roll out.
You made
let it
a
roll out.
college.
if you guessed and you're wrong, you can't guess again.
Okay.
Yes,
I'll-
I like that rule. I like that rule.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So that's enough about him for school. I'm not going to give you where he went to school. In his career in the NFL, this is just his career stats. He had 1,280 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. Okay. He was arrested for a DUI on June 3rd, 2012. He violated the league's substance abuse policy on April 20th, 2013. He was placed on the PUP list after that. Came back. He missed the first 4 games of the
Okay,
2013 season, right? Came back in his first game. He caught 5 passes for 136 yards and a touchdown. In his next game, 14 passes for 190 yards. The following was the bye week, and he was suspended indefinitely for the NFL's substance abuse policy and has since then not played in the NFL.
I have a
So
guess.
came back, had almost 400 receiving yards in 2 games, like 3 touchdowns, suspended in the bye week, never played again. I'll give this away, he was a top 10 NFL draft pick.
Is it Martavius Bryant?
It is not Martavius Bryant.
You know what? I thought about it, but I think Roberto got it first. I was leaning between Titus Young and Roberto's pick.
Yeah, Roberto got it right. Justin Black.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought Martavius
Just-
Bryant might have been a little bit younger than that. I think he's still
The
pretty young.
DUIs run heavy under the Oklahoma State head coach, Mike Gundy.
Yes.
All right, this next guy, I had to
Mike
put him on
Gundy.
here.
Mike Gundy said Mike Gundy probably. If only Mike Gundy was Justin Blackman's coach for the Jaguars, because he was like, you know what, his punishment should just be get him the ball 5 times screen passes in the first quarter. That'll be a real punishment for him.
6 Hail Marys.
Okay. This next guy, even I didn't know who this was.
Fuck.
So I think this one will be really hard, but this man's life is quite possibly the funniest thing I've ever read. The reasons he was arrested and stuff. He's from San Diego, California, 38 years old, and he was drafted number 1 overall. He was the first pick overall.
In what league
Baseball.
were you?
He's a baseball player. Okay. So a few weeks after he was drafted, he was arrested on suspicion of felony assault, trespassing, disorderly conduct, and underage drinking. Okay? And then this is where it gets funny. In early 2009, he was allegedly involved in a drunken assault at a San Diego high school, which was caught on camera. According to witnesses, he beat up a high school lacrosse player with a golf club while screaming his name.
What?
Oh, it gets crazier. He was still in the pros at this point. He got DFA'd by the team that drafted him, but he got picked up by someone. A month later, he assaulted and berated a woman at a party in Florida and then got released. Then, a couple years later, actually, he was arrested and charged with 2 counts of DUI with property damage, 1 count of DUI with serious bodily injury, and 1 count of leaving the scene of an accident with injury, 1 count of driving with a suspended license, and 2 counts of leaving the scene of an accident with damage to property. He hit a 72-year-old cyclist on northbound Port Charlotte, Florida, running over his head as he fled the scene in a Dodge Durango. He was picked up 3 miles from the accident, and he had a BAC of 0.18, which is double the legal limit in Florida. Okay? So all that happens. He basically gets the team is what said he'll never play for us again. He was sentenced to 51 months in prison, and it was his third DUI conviction in 10 years, and he was prevented from driving legally in Florida for the next 10 years. Okay? That was not the end of his career. He came back in 2016 as a pitcher and played as recently as last year and was a closer. This might give – I won't give him what. He was on the team last year that won – let me double check on this because I want to say he was on that team. Okay, no. Up until 2022, he was on the Texas Rangers. Last year, he was on the Milwaukee Brewers. Number 1 pick, it's not funny, ran someone's head over, spent 51 months in prison, came back. He was the number 1 pick as a shortstop, I should say that. Came back and became a closing pitcher in baseball. And let me look at this.
How is this guy in the league?
Yeah.
Baseball's not as they're not
Because Rob Manfred doesn't care.
Was he successful when he was pitching? Like, was he a good pitcher?
So
Yeah, he's a good pitcher.
I mean, you have to if you kill someone and spend 3 years in jail and they let you back. You got to be pretty damn good.
I didn't even know who this guy was, and when I was looking up just like different busts and the reason they busted and stuff, he came up, and I was like, I got to put this guy on there because he's not very well known, but he was still a number 1 overall pick. And
If it was Josh Hader.
All right. Yeah, I was leaning
over.
Josh Hader. I was leaning Josh
There's
Hader
no
as
way.
well, but
There's just-
I don't think
There's
it
no
was.
way.
Players, and he's one of the best closing pitchers.
I don't think
Yeah,
Josh Hader killed someone though. I thought Josh Hader just said
beat up
some
a
like
high
weird
school
stuff,
lacrosse player
He's
with a
also
golf club.
playing right now. He said
screaming
he
his name.
played as recently
Who
as
is
last.
it? You got
His name is Matt Bush. Matt Bush is his name.
I gotta look this
Not
guy
very
up.
well known,
I
but
gotta look up Matt Bush.
a hilarious / tragic what the things he has done.
Matt Bush, 38 years old.
Oh my gosh.
So you're telling me this guy's the guy who beat up a high school kid with a golf club? but you
Damn.
don't know his name.
And ran someone's head over.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
It's hilarious, actually.
It's funny that he was allowed to play professional baseball again. After.
Yeah,
Like, that
that's the
is
funny part. The
insane.
Texas Rangers also were the ones who gave Josh Hamilton his second shot when he was on crack.
You know what?
So we should be questioning that.
You were
What the
talking
Texas
about
Rangers are doing.
first overall pick, baseball, and I was like, man, this could be Josh Hamilton. And of course,
what
it just had to be a Texas Ranger player.
The Texas
Wait,
He was
Rangers.
drafted by the
wait.
San Diego Padres.
So-
Okay. The first
Yeah,
overall
that
pick
is-
in the 2004 draft. Okay.
And going back, Justin Blackmon, that man won 2 Bolitna. He was insanely good.
I'm
And
gonna
just
look up his
January
mugshot.
10th. Yeah, what the fuck?
couldn't
I'm
get it
looking up his
done.
mugshot right now.
We got 2 more that are also
Yeah, this is 2009. At a party, he
No way.
reportedly threw a baseball at a woman's head and banged on her car window after accusing her of drawing markings on his face at a party. And then a year later, he got re-signed to another team. Like, who's like, hey, listen, guys, like, he's got his issues, but we need him.
that I looked up a bunch of people because I've been a bunch of guys I wrote down for future episodes. That one I was like, I've got to use because that is truly an insane story. If I read that guy's just rap sheet to you and was like, oh yeah, he played professional baseball a year ago, you would
For a
not-
World Series winning team.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's
Okay, ready
insane.
for the next one?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
god.
Yeah.
This one is good too. He was born in Louisiana on March 17th, 1983. All right. Not going to say where he. I think I can give this away. He played at West Virginia. I'll just say that he played at West Virginia. Okay. And here's his rap sheet. On December 15th, 2005, he was pulled over for speeding, found with marijuana in his car, not a valid driver's license or valid insurance. A month later, he was arrested in Florida for multiple gun charges. I forgot about this part, including concealment and aggravated assault with a firearm. During the time of his arrest, he was wearing the jersey of the pro football team, his own jersey of the pro team he played for. Okay. In 2006, he allowed 3 females under the legal drinking age, 18, 15, and 15, to consume alcohol at a hotel in Covington, Kentucky.
Greasy.
Yeah, like that is quite possibly the greasiest thing you could
Was
do.
it Aubrey Graham?
It was not Aubrey Graham. Okay, so he was pulled over on June 3rd, 2006 by Ohio Highway Patrol, and it was suspected drunk driving. And he
Is it Ohio?
Ohio, yeah. And
I think I got it now. I think I got it.
He had a
Roberto has a question.
.92 BAC. Okay. My God, this guy got arrested a lot. On October 6, 2006, he was suspended for the league substance abuse policy and was allowed to take part in practices, attend any games, all that stuff. This one's good. On January 25th, 2007, he pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor violation of a city ordinance commonly referred to as the Keg Law. Sentenced to 90 days in jail, but all the days were suspended except 2 of them. He assaulted a valet in Newport, Kentucky. He loves Newport freaking Kentucky. On November 6, 2007, and violated his probation. Okay? Now, here's where it gets good. He has 11 children by 10 different women.
I got it.
He
I got
had. He had.
Oh,
The guy,
I think I
Roberto,
have
the
it.
guy is not still alive.
Oh no, I don't have it.
he's
Don't
not
have
alive?
it.
He's not alive. Okay, I'll read
He's
his
dead.
death, but nobody can laugh.
Okay.
I
Okay.
thought it was Pac-Man Jones for a while.
I got something for you about Pac-Man Jones at the end of this.
Then-
Pac-Man Jones is related. He sustained injuries when he fell out of the back of a moving truck driven by his fiancee while they were engaged in a domestic dispute. And he died from those injuries. Basically, that's how he died.
And what position did he play?
Roberto got it. He was a receiver. Roberto got it.
Receiver.
Didn't Chris Henry? You
Roberto's
guys
a
saw
dog.
something
Dude,
on the
Roberto's
Pat
good.
McAfee show that like one of those 11 kids was like looked over by Pac-Man Jones, and I think he's going to be playing like
Yes.
Division I football,
Yes.
like one of his
Pac-Man
kids.
Jones took his kids in, and Pac-Man Jones has a ton of kids.
oh, that's,
That's
right.
wild.
I did read about that. It was like somebody was like Pac-Man Jones taking care of former teammates' kid or something, making sure he gets. And then like I remember reading about it, I was like, this guy is like not a good person.
We got one more that is.
I also
pretty
think
funny.
it
Oh,
is
shit, I clicked on
one thing I will say is that Pac-Man Jones, and I am so happy that Pac-Man did that for his kids. But you know the situation is bad when Pac-Man Jones has to be the one that steps up and is the grown up in the situation.
When the former TNA tag champion Pac-Man.
Yes, TNA tag champion.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because for future reference, he is going to be on this little thing we're doing. Pac-Man Jones will be on here. Multiple arrests. Probably some of the funniest quotes I've ever read in my life came from Pac-Man Jones. But yes, he is a TNA tag champion. He joined
With
TNA
who?
for a little. I don't remember with who, but I remember reading that on his page.
Just him and AJ Styles just wrestling.
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 Oh God, some of these guys and the stuff they do
All right.
is just hilarious to me.
You got one more for us, Suit? You said.
One more, and I
Real
accidentally
quick, I want
clicked
to
off
talk
a
a little
bit.
bit more about Pac-Man Jones. Amari Cooper's rookie season. Pac-Man Jones is on the field, decided, hey, I'm going to welcome you to the league, pal. Tackled Amari Cooper, ripped his helmet off, proceeded to take Amari Cooper's shoulder pads and slam his head into his helmet as many times as he could.
All right, last one. This is
No,
gonna be a basketball.
Such, I'm sorry. Before we go, Pac-Man Jones was the TNA tag champ with R-Truth.
What?
I have to show you this picture. I have to show you this picture. What is this? What? Oh
Was
my!
Mr. Ron
No.
killing himself?
Let me share the screen.
R-Truth is hilarious on TikTok Live, by the way. He just gets on there and starts singing. And
Team
You guys
Pac-Man
see
was
this?
their name.
There's
You gotta
there's
add-
R-Truth and Adam Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You guys see it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That is
I
hilarious.
truly love how much athletes can get away with because it gives me.
Oh, it's
I'm up
hilarious.
until 3 a.m. Jess will
Hi,
like roll over in
fellas.
the bed and be like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm
All
like,
right.
I'm laughing at Matt Bush beating up high school kids that play lacrosse, screaming his name. That's what I'm laughing
While
at.
shouting his no name, Matt Bush. Wait, so he was going, "I'm Matt Bush. I'm Matt Bush." That's what he was
I'm Matt
yelling.
Fucking Bush.
Jesus, that's horrible. That's horrible.
Hey, last
All right,
one.
Zeus, send us home, baby.
We got an NBA player who's from New York City.
Oh.
He's
No way.
he's 39 years old
Mm.
and went to Abraham Lincoln High School. Okay,
Mhm.
First round pick. Now, let's get to some of his run-ins with the law.
What year was he a draft pick in?
He was the first.
Well, look,
Okay, you want me to say it now or wait?
You can wait. You can
Wait,
Okay,
wait. I want to try to figure this out.
Okay. On October 16th, 2006, he had a chain valued at $50,000 snatched from his possession outside of Puff Daddy's restaurant, Justin's. As it happened, rapper Fabulous was shot outside the same club.
It's not funny, but it's just it literally is like it's like a cartoon episode. Like
Then he was arrested on April 20th, 2007, charged with felony possession of a weapon. He was driving a 2006 Range Rover at 77 miles per hour in a 45 with a suspended license. And when they looked in his car, they found a 45 caliber handgun in the passenger seat. He said, "I have no idea why that handgun is sitting there." He received 3 years probation for that and a 3-game suspension from the NBA. On June 11th, 2017, him and another man were arrested on weapons and marijuana-related charges during a traffic stop in Brooklyn. They were driving without headlights and illegal parking. Inside the vehicle, officers spotted a lit joint and found 3 loaded handguns, a semi-automatic rifle, a ballistic vest, and several bags of marijuana that were among suitcases, clothing, shoes, and furniture parts. And it basically says right here that he was literally there for a project that was being opened where he was born and raised. He was found guilty of that, and then he was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for the offense. That's another thing, reading this stuff. It is insane, some of the stuff these guys do, and get a slap on the wrist, if you can even call it that.
Yeah.
And then he was indicted with 18 former NBA players, and arrested on charges that were defrauding the league's health and welfare benefit plan out of about $4 million. Basically, what they said there: pleaded guilty and 3 more years of probation. And here's a little hint for you: he is the cousin of Stephon Marbury.
Yeah,
Is
I've heard of
this-
this. And once you say the name, I'm going to remember it, but I can't think of it.
Also, I will give $10 right now if anyone can tell me, when I was looking this up, what Fabulous's real name is.
it's not Steve Francis, isn't it? That's a shot in
It's
the
not
dark.
Steve. It's not Steve Francis, but he might be on a future He might be in the
Steve-
future.
I know Steve Francis. I think got his stuff together, but I know about Steve Francis like in high
Roberto's
school
got
and
it
college.
again. He hadn't said who it is yet. He's giving you guys some time, but he knows who it is.
I got no
insane.
clue. Steve Francis was
know.
the closest I got. Maybe I'm oh man, I don't want to like name drop people, but I'm just gonna like.
Do you want me to
like,
read who he played for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so drafted by the Trailblazers. Then he played for the Celtics, Timberwolves, Clippers.
Oh
Cavs.
my gosh, he
Suns
played on
and
the
Raptors.
Jailblazers. He was on the Jailblazers
Yes.
What team?
with
what-
like
what-
Steve,
what-
with like
when
Steve
was he
Blake and
drafted?
Steve Kerr. Okay. Oh my
What year
gosh.
was he
Okay.
drafted?
What year was he
I
drafted?
know the guy you're talking about now.
2004. That's a
2004.
picture on that because I want. Yep, 2004. Yes.
I got nothing.
He was originally
Zach-
going to
it's
go
not
play
Zach-
for Rick Pitino, but then he went pro instead.
It's not
Back
Zach
then.
Randolph. No, he's too young.
I got
I don't know.
nothing. When you said shot outside the club, I first thought of Thabo Cephalosha.
I've heard this story before, and when you say it, I'm gonna be like, "Oh man, I knew that," but I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it.
Roberto, you want to throw it in there?
Yeah, let Roberto do it.
Do the
Dude,
honors.
he went 4 for 4.
Oh, yep.
So,
Sebastian
yes.
Vettel.
Oh my gosh, that's what it was. Sebastian
I did not
Telfair.
know who that was. Who were the other players that got in trouble for violating the league's?
Oh God. Let me look.
There was another
Like-
there were a couple in there that were big names. That's what was striking me.
Tony Allen was in it. Big Baby
That's a-
Davis.
That's who
J-Rex
I
Miles.
Big Baby Davis.
Also fabulous. Real name Skylar.
Skylar.
Skylar. I have had so much fun looking up these different guys, and like I'll just like I said, I'll just go through drafts and be like, oh, I wonder whatever happened to that guy. Like, because you'll see some people and you're like, damn, I remember that dude, and then they're just like it's the weirdest thing ever. Like you remember them just being a beast in college or like kind of a big name in their pro league or whatever, and they just like the charges these guys get and just get a slap on the wrist is wild.
Hold on,
No.
I think I want to do one for you guys. It's not that not you guys might be able to get it, but
Roberto,
kind of-
listen to Crime in Sports. If you love that,
yeah,
Listen to Crime
I'm
and
gonna
Sports.
start doing that. Okay, so this player was drafted in the first round. I'm not going to say what year; it'll give it away. Born in Fremont, Ohio, went to Ross High School, and when he was a child, this is a good it's not a crime really, but his dad was an amateur boxer, but he was born with club feet and wore leg braces for a year. He did not run until he was, or wasn't able to walk until he was 18 months old. And this is a Raiders player.
he was born with club feet.
Born with club feet. Had to get them fixed. And then he played for the Raiders. I'll give you guys that too. And he was drafted in 1998.
Seabass?
That's
No.
what I was gonna say, but I think he was at FSU later.
Yeah.
Seabass has some funny stuff he's done too. He will be on a future.
Seabass,
also- yeah,
Seabass is like the king of just like was it is you were telling me the story of Seabass. It was like someone like complained about like Seabass like going out and like partying, and Bobby Bowden was like, "Don't worry, he's a pole, like he can party and play," or something like that.
He's like, he'll be fine.
Yeah, so I'll give you. He played for 2 NFL teams throughout his entire career, but he again wore club feet, wore braces, couldn't run fully until he was 5 years old. First
played
round
for-
pick for the Raiders in 1998.
I'm blanking. Nothing.
Really?
I mean, I'm
Was-
sure once I hear the name, it'll kill me because it'll be right in front of me. Rich Gannon?
give
I
you
don't
guys-
know.
I'll give it away to you. Played for Michigan.
Charles Woodson?
Yes.
Oh,
I had no idea he was born with
Charles
club
Woodson
feet.
had club feet and could not run until he was 5 years old.
that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. My brain was just going to only offensive players. I should have just jumped over to that side of the football.
Yeah.
But no, there are some funny ones. Like
Sebastian Janikowski, though, is funny because he used to sit out in the parking lot after Raider games for like 3 hours, crushing beers with Shane Leffler.
Also, before we leave here, I don't even know how to pull stuff up on this thing, but I'm going to figure out how to do it.
present and then share screen on your tab.
Okay. If you guys can tell me, Diego, you might know this. Oh, God. You said present and share screen.
Roberto, if we do this with UFC fighters, it's gonna get real greasy. They get into some. I mean, you could just do that based off like people who have been on The Ultimate Fighter. You could just do that off stuff done on The Ultimate Fighter.
Here, I'll give one. Hold on, let me make sure I got my facts straight. I'll give you one real quick, Roberto.
How in the hell do I put this on?
All right, Roberto, let me know if you can get this one. This guy had a very troubled childhood, experienced a lot of crime, and like really, just had to make it out of the mud. And he was from West Linn, Oregon. I'll give you that.
Yeah, dude, I actually know this guy and his story, Tyler. I know the guy you're talking about. Like, it's amazing how he even like made it. Like
I can't
his
believe he overcame
struggle,
so much adversity.
his
He once
his
saw-
struggle.
Yeah, he saw somebody throw a piece of gum on the street and just left it there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, he's also
actually-
undefeated.
Yeah,
Undefeated.
and
Undisputed.
the one that did it for me, was that when he, I mean, like it was his 16th birthday and his neighbor was turning 16 at the same time, and he didn't have a car yet. He had to wait to get his car, and his neighbor got a BMW like that, and like he just got a normal
The
car.
worst part
Like,
about the neighbor
that
getting
is-
the BMW is that they were twins. They had to share that car. He had to see that at a young age.
yeah.
Okay, last thing for me.
That was a good riff. That was a good riff.
If you guys can tell me what band this man right here plays lead guitar from, I will be like shocked because it shocked me.
Band?
Band,
Band.
yes.
Who is it? Is he an athlete or something?
No, he is a musician for a band that is kind of making a comeback right now. And he
Creed?
is in his no, it is wild what band this guy is in.
Korn?
You're getting closer.
Sublime?
Disturbed?
You guys are kind of on the right track, but think like maybe a little bit more white trashy and greasy, but I like them.
Limp Bizkit?
I've always like, yes, that is the guitarist for Limp Bizkit.
No shot.
No way.
Yeah, look it up. Wow, what is he?
And
Wes
he's been
Borland.
their OG, and he's been their OG. Oh, he's the guy who goes full white face
Yes.
paint with no shirt.
Yes. It threw me through the biggest loop in the world when it came on my TikTok, and he was like talking about like fine art.
Dude.
Wes
That's
Borland.
the guy who screams chainsaw on break stuff. What?
You guys,
That's him.
do you guys know how many different bass players Metallica's gone through?
3.
And what
No,
happened to the first one?
4. Yeah, that guy hates Metallica, and he started Megadeth.
No. So the first one was like the original band member. They were on tour, and the bus driver apparently like fell asleep at the wheel or something. Kirk Hammett, the lead guitarist, swears that he was hammered when this happened, but dude, like they were all sleeping in the trailer, and dude got ejected out of the window and died.
Jesus.
And then they went and got God, what's that guy's name? Something Jason Newsted, and then everybody hated him. So, but he made the Black Album, and then they transferred over to Trujillo.
Robert?
So now they've been through 3, but yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Well, didn't they also have the fourth The guy who started Megadeth, who like hates everything, like who hates Metallica, who just beefs with Metallica. The Megadeth guy.
Dave Mustaine.
Yes, Dave Mustaine. Yes, he got kicked out of the band before they even released the Four Horsemen. Like some of like the bass on the Four Horsemen was like the bass that he recorded, and then like he was like such an ass to work with. If Roman
Yeah,
Reigns didn't work out, bruh, stop.
Yeah, he was
That-
the lead guitarist for Metallica and never appeared on any. He was fired from Metallica in 1983 over tensions related to his alcoholism and a fight with James Hetfield. You can't fight with James Hetfield.
Yeah. Also, if you got alcohol problems and you're in prime Metallica, it probably means you got a bunch of alcohol problems.
Well, I don't think. I mean, you would never know. I'm sure they were doing a bunch of it, but I don't think Metallica ever got in any trouble for drug issues. I'm sure they were
That we
doing
know
it.
of.
I don't think they got caught.
That we know of. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
got to be something. There's
Yeah.
got to be something.
All right.
Always
Well,
is.
anything else, fellas, before we cut this live? Pretty solid show for not having the crew. I will say, pretty solid.
Pretty solid stuff.
That's funny, Roberto.
That's sweet. All right. Anything else, fellas? Well, thank you for everyone listening. We, like I said, we were back to our bi-weekly.
Absolutely.
So true.
Never heard.
I'm gonna steal that snorkeler. I'm gonna steal that phrase.
Snorkeler.
I'm 100% stealing that phrase. But yeah, we are back on our bi-weekly schedule. All podcasts releasing every 2 weeks. Still doing these lives every Thursday. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Make sure to subscribe to our Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube, watch the clips, and everyone, have a good weekend. Later, boys.
See ya.